Okay, what's up YouTube? My name is Galen and this is Galen's Gadgets. Again, thank you guys so much for joining my channel today. Today, as you can see, I have the Pixel 8 Pro. You just saw the unboxing and yeah, it's a very simple unboxing experience. So today I'm just gonna basically go over my first few days with the device. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first part that I'm going to talk about in regards to this is just the unboxing and the setup. So again, the unboxing was super simple. You guys saw what came in the box, basically just this OTG adapter to help with transfer process, and then the USB-C to USB-C cable. So I actually did not use the adapter at all. I did everything over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Pretty much. I will say the setup process for Android 14 is actually a lot smoother than what it initially was. All I really had to do was it automatically pretty much synced to my S23 Ultra automatically, and then I put in my S23 Ultra's passcode, and once I did that, everything was connected. I did not have to manually put in the Wi-Fi. I basically had to do nothing. This is definitely the fastest process that I've had on Android ever. It took me about 20 minutes to get into the phone and fully use it, which is unheard of for me. Usually takes closer to 45 minutes to an hour, but 20 minutes is really good. And then basically after that, it just downloaded all of my apps. Okay, of course, once you get this phone out of the box, you'll see how it feels. In my opinion, this is one of the more light flagships, or one of the more light big flagships. That's the most noticeable thing that I noticed when I picked this up. Delvon Digital actually said the same thing. Go check out his channel. He has a lot of content on the Pixel 8 Pro as well. But yeah, when I picked this up, the weight is something that was very noticeable, especially because the S23 Ultra is about the similar size, but it feels significantly heavier. I'm not sure of the overall measurements, but ergonomically at least, this definitely feels like a lighter phone. Another thing that I noticed right off the bat is just how soft this back is. So has a matte feel to it. I really love it. Just that frosted back type design. Really love that, and it just feels really good to hold in the hand. I really didn't think I could get a phone that feels better than the S23 Ultra, but if there was one, it would probably be this, the Pixel 8 Pro. The buttons, I really like the buttons. I really like how recessed the power button is. It sticks out a little further than the volume buttons, so you're kind of able to tell that difference just based on that. And coming from a S23 Ultra, which has a different layout, the volume buttons are closer to the top. It's just a big deal to just make sure that that power button is really noticeable. So I'm really happy Google did that, and the buttons are also super clicky. Really nice buttons on this device. And finally, in terms of build quality, the next thing that I'll talk about is the screen. Okay, so let's talk about the screen. The first thing you'll notice about it is how bright it actually gets. The brightness on this phone is absolutely insane. I think it gets 2400 nits or something, which is really high for a smartphone, but I noticed it when I was actually unboxing this. I turned on the screen and there was a primarily white screen with the Google logo loading or whatever. But when I put it under my camera, it blew out my camera like crazy, just because of how bright it is. I had to adjust some settings or whatever. But yeah, this screen quality is extremely bright. Well, in terms of quality, you get two options. Make sure you go into here and change this, because it's not at its highest resolution by default. You get the high resolution, and then you get the full resolution. The high resolution is going to be closer to 1080p, while the full resolution is going to be closer to 1440. So yeah, make sure you adjust that if you're wanting the most pixels in your experience, the most pixels on your Pixel. In terms of the in-screen fingerprint sensor, it's not bad, but it's not the best. You could tell it's not using the same technology, or just not more superior technology than the S23 Ultra's ultrasonic, or whatever it's called, fingerprint sensor. This is going to be a basic optical fingerprint sensor. Just the technology is a little different. Basically, the Pixel it primarily focuses on like the view that it gets of your fingerprint, while the S23 Ultra is kind of like it goes by the view and the feel of your fingerprint. So yeah, it's not bad, but it's just like not that good. I'll miss sometimes, but not that many times. But yeah, overall, screen quality is really good for watching videos, and it's super smooth for scrolling social media. Let's just go Facebook and X. Yeah, super smooth scrolling on the Pixel 8 Pro. Okay, so let's talk about the user interface of the Pixel. So this is rocking just the basic Pixel UI, which is close to stock Android, as a lot of people call it. Basically Android with not too much of a skin on top of it. Google basically has this with their own exclusive features, such as the call features, and then a lot of the camera features are Google exclusive in terms of the software. But overall, it's a very basic user interface. Swipe up to get the app drawer. The app drawer is very basic, not a lot of customization there. I don't think the Google search menu was there before, but that's new. And then when you swipe to the left, you get your Google feed. Swipe to the right, you just get more of your apps that you put on the home screen or whatever. And when you scroll down, you get your notifications and your quick toggles. I really like how big the Pixel UI quick toggles are. I kind of prefer that over the One UI ones. I just think it looks better, and it's just better for functionality. One thing I will say, I noticed this. I really want to do a side-by-side comparison with this with like a super high frames per second rate or whatever, but it does feel like the Pixel is way more responsive than One UI. In my opinion, I noticed it as soon as I started using it, just opening apps and closing them, and the responsiveness is just significantly better. You could definitely feel it like when you're using both devices. I've been using the S23 Ultra, and then before that I had the S22 Ultra, so I haven't had a Pixel like in at least 2 years. But yeah, overall, the scrolling experience on the 8 Pro and just the responsiveness on the 8 Pro has been better than the S23 Ultra for me personally. In terms of software, if there were any tweaks I would make, I really wish you could get these icons, these themed icons across your whole app drawer. I don't know why that's not a thing. And as well as customizable icon packs. There are a ton of third-party icon packs on Android. I really wish Google would implement that into their software so that you're able to add those from the Play Store and just add them into your Pixel launcher. You have to download a third-party launcher to be able to use an icon pack of choice. I don't think that's cool at all. It's not really fair to a lot of users, but yeah, those are just my takeaways of the software on the Pixel 8 Pro. Okay, let's talk performance on the Pixel 8 Pro. So performance on this has been really solid. The one downfall is that I have noticed like a few slowdowns or just complete freezes in certain apps. I don't know what it is, but for things like video editing, I use CapCut. I think this is going to work perfectly fine. The performance is definitely flagship type performance. I don't have any issues with just like how fast everything is as a whole. Again, the only issues that I've had with performance is just those few stutters or a few stops and loadings, but for the most part, I'm basically just scrolling social media or checking my email or things like that on my phone. I don't like push my phone too heavy personally. I don't really play a lot of games or anything like that. Every once in a while I'll do a remote play session or something like that, but overall I think this is a really good performing phone. Apps don't really close in the background, they're all still there. Speaking of that, I really wish they had like the clear recents at the bottom, but that's another discussion. Yeah, but overall performance on the Pixel 8 Pro, no issues at all. Photos load perfectly fine, videos load perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that little bit of processing time at all, just because I know the result will be worth it. So yeah, no issues with that. Speaking of cameras, let's just go into the camera app. Okay, so let's dive into the Pixel 8 Pro camera app. Right off the bat, one of the biggest changes that you'll see is that you have a actual camera section and a video section now. So you'll get different modes across each of those. And again, they are separated, which I think is really smart. Just separates all of your camera modes and video modes, so they're not all in one place anymore. In camera, you get action pan, long exposure. Get a portrait mode, you get regular photos, night sight, and panorama. In terms of the video modes, you get a pan feature, you get a blur feature, you get a video, normal video, you get slow motion, and you get time lapse. So yeah, all of these options are pretty clutch, and you get more pro settings in the Pixel 8 Pro. That's one of the major reasons why I got this over the Pixel 8. It's just because you have a lot more options and flexibility in the Pixel 8 Pro. You could really just fine tune your photos and videos to your liking. You actually get a whole section just for the pro settings for your photos. So you get you could go 12 megapixel or 50 megapixel if you don't want your images binned. You could go JPEG only, or you could go RAW. And you can adjust whether you want the camera to select your lens for you, or you can manually do that. You do get more settings. None of these are like super important. Something that I turned on and I'm curious about to see if the quality will be better is this social media depth feature. Basically, it says it will like add more detail to your photos so that it's better to post on social media. I believe that's how it works. We'll see how that works. I post a lot on Twitter, so we'll see if the Twitter quality ends up like better because of that feature. Twitter tends to like take a lot out of your quality. So here are all of your like a lot of your let's go photo. So when you click on these toggles right here, you'll get a lot of those customizable options. You could change the white balance, brightness, shadow, focus, shutter speed, ISO. All of those are adjustable now straight from the camera app, which is really nice. And let's just talk about some of the photo editing features while I'm here. I'm really excited about Video Boost. That's going to be a video feature coming later, I believe in December. But basically, when you record videos from your Pixel, it will ship it to a server to like make your quality better. We'll see what that's like when that comes out. But for now, I'm really excited about the features on the Pixel 8 Pro in terms of just basic editing. The biggest addition, a lot of this has been here before. A lot of these features have been here before. But the biggest one is the revamped Magic Eraser. You could just really do a lot with it. Let me pick a better photo to show you. Okay, so I got an example right here. This is just me and my fiance in the store, me being annoyed by her taking the extra time to look at pumpkins when she has about 8 million pumpkins in the house already. But I digress. So again, this is Magic Editor. This is basically a revamped version of what Magic Eraser was. Before, Magic Eraser would only basically just like take images out, and then it would use software to like cover up where you took the previous image out. So I'm gonna show you how this works. I think it works a lot better. Just let's wait a minute. It usually takes a few seconds to load. Okay, it's not gonna take too long. Let's see how long this one takes. About 20 seconds. And as you can see, she's completely gone. Her and her pumpkin are gone. And the quality on that is actually really good, way better than what it was. Like before, it would kind of paint like around like what was missing. It would just like paint like a similar color. But now it's a lot more AI involved, so it's really generating images that like would be there in real life if you're taking that other object out. So that's a huge improvement. Magic Editor is a huge improvement. There's how it would look if I want to blur her out. And that's the original image it looks like. So Yeah, Magic Editor is going to be a game changer for those that really need to do like some really wizard type photo editing, and like in which you like want something completely gone out of your photo but you want to keep everything else. I think Magic Editor is like working its way to be one of the better products in that regard. Okay, the final thing that I'm going to talk about is the battery life. I can't really go by my current cycle because I literally just woke up to record this video. But yeah, overall, I'd say it's like average. I'm waiting on it to get better. The first cycle I really didn't like at all. It died pretty fast the first cycle. I probably got about like 6 hours of screen on time there, but over time I know that will get better because that's the nature of Android at this point. It always takes a few days for the adaptive battery to kick in, to like really understand your usage and then optimize your battery performance to match that usage. So yeah, really excited to see what it does there. I've seen a lot of people getting like close to 9 to 10 hours of screen on time, which is like just enough for me. I'm not on my phone like too much during the day because I work I'm always at my desk for the most part. So yeah, really curious to see what battery is gonna be like over time. But in my experience so far, it gets me through the day. I would say it probably lasts me from like 9 to 5. That's like my estimate so far. But yeah, I'm not worried about battery life because I know it takes a few days for battery to kick in. I'm only on day like 3 so far, so we'll see what battery life is like in the future. Okay, so let's wrap this video on the Pixel 8 Pro up. Overall, I'm really happy to have the 8 Pro. I have not had a Pixel since the Pixel 6 Pro came out, and I had the 4a 5G before that, so I'm a huge Pixel fan. And I'm really excited to have this 8 Pro, especially in this color. I really love this color. I did not highlight that earlier when I was talking about design. This bay blue color is absolutely amazing. I really love that color, and I love the silver accents. Really nice looking phone. Looks way better in person than it does on camera. But yeah, overall, really loving the Pixel 8 Pro experience. I'm really more excited about the features that were promised. I know MKBHD says never buy something based on the promise of updates that will be given in the future, but I'm really excited for a lot of the features that they'll have, such as their integration with Bard and the video boost feature. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Seeing if I could actually use this as a A-roll camera would be really cool. So yeah, overall, really loving the device. The feel of it is absolutely amazing. Really light phone, really good phone ergonomically. The big camera bar is something that I use as a balance, kind of. Usually stick my finger under there so I know I'm not gonna drop it, because I don't have a case yet that comes in today. But yeah, overall, really love the design quality. The software is extremely fluid. That's one of the biggest things that I've noticed. And look at that beautiful screen. But yeah, the software fluidity is something that I can't like ignore at all. It does feel a lot more fluid and responsive than what One UI felt for me. So yeah, really loving the software experience on that. And then all of the additional camera settings and camera features and editing features are going to be extremely nice to have in the future. So yeah, if you have any questions about the Pixel 8 Pro, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll get back to you. So thanks for watching this video.